Hello, and welcome to online worship with the Melrose Unitarian Universalist Church. I am their minister, the Reverend Dr. Suzanne Intriligator, and I'm hosting worship now from my home. Welcome to my home. If you would like to hear more and join in more of our online community offerings, you're very welcome to join us. You might want to subscribe to our newsletter to get all the information. You can do that on our website, which is melroseuu.org, or by emailing our church administrator at office@melroseuu.org. Or if you would like to have a personal connection with me or ask a question, I'm minister@melroseuu.org. Yesterday, we recorded a beautiful online worship service for our annual MUUC Sunday. Usually that's a beautiful service full of choir pieces. But this year, we couldn't sing together as a choir, as Zoom doesn't really make that pleasant or enjoyable. So we have lots of pieces from individual musicians in our congregation, as well as some reflections on favorite hymns from our choir members. And I'm happy to share all of that with you. We had one tiny technical glitch yesterday during the worship service in that we didn't hit the record button until the shared silence about 20 minutes in. There were some other beautiful pieces that happened before that. So for purposes of this recording, we're going to put those pieces together for you now so you can share as much as possible in the wholeness of the worship service we had yesterday. First, I'd like to share with you a short video, 2 minutes long, from our treasurer about how to go ahead and donate to us via our website. So first, let's watch that together.
Hi, this is John Postel, the treasurer of the Melrose Unitarian Universalist Church, and today I'm going to show you how to donate electronically using the donate button in the upper right-hand corner of our webpage. First, just go to melroseuu.org, click on the donate button, and you'll be brought to a screen that will help you make your donation. You're going to enter the amount that you would like to donate. Today I'm going to donate $10. However, because there's a fee associated with this, at a $10 donation, the fee is about 50 cents. At a $100 donation, it's at $3. So the fee range is somewhere between 5 and 3%. I'm going to add 50 cents to my donation so the church gets a full $10 that they can use. You want to not click on the monthly donation unless you're willing to have it come out donated monthly. And then you either choose to donate using your PayPal account or you donate with a debit or credit card. We'll start out with a debit or credit card. I just click on it, it brings it forward, it remembers the amount. There's still this monthly donation thing. The issue is now special instructions. The question is, how does the collector know to apply your funds? Is this plate? Is this pledge? Is this an auction payment? So you actually just type in what the item is going to be, in this case, plate donation, and then you fill in the rest of the information with your credit card or debit card and press donate now, and you're off and running. If, on the other hand, you want to donate using the PayPal feature, click back here. So you click on Donate with PayPal, and then you're moved to this screen. I skipped over one screen with my login information. I didn't want to share that with you. It says, how do you want to pay? I'm going to use my own checking account. I click on Next, and this brings me here. It's very similar, and the only difference here is you're adding a note where you would type in the word plate, and now you're able to donate now and make it go on through. I hope this has helped you. Appreciate all the donations that you make and looking forward to working with you all. If anyone has any further questions, they can certainly call the church and we can get back to you and help you.
And thank you for that. Yes, now let's move to our call to worship to start our online worship time together. This is a poem from the poet James Weldon Johnson. It's called The Gift to Sing. Sometimes the mist overhangs my path and blackening clouds about me cling. But oh, I have a magic way to turn the gloom to cheerful day. I softly sing. And if the way grows darker still, shadowed by sorrow's somber wing, with glad defiance in my throat, I pierce the darkness with a note and sing, sing, sing. I brood not over the broken past, nor dread whatever time may bring. No nights are dark, no days are long, while in my heart there swells a song, and I can sing. With that in mind, let us worship together. Now let us enjoy our opening hymn together, Comfort Me, performed by our music director, Tara. If you can, please join in singing from your home. The lyrics are displayed on the video for you.
Comfort me,
Now is that part in our worship service where we say together the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. This is our great covenant, one with another and with our God. At this point in our worship service, it is our practice to share a time for all ages, a story time, and this week we have a message from our Director of Religious Education, Katie. Katie, great to hear from you.
Hi friends, I missed you all last week in our first virtual worship. I am so happy that you were able to see the video that my friend Katie from Phoenix made all about taking care of your adults during this time. And I hope that you all have been heeding that advice and taking care of your adults this week, making sure that they get plenty of rest and bathe and telling them silly jokes. This week, what I want to talk to you about is the flaming chalice, which is, as you know, a symbol of our faith, and it's something that we light every week in worship and something that we light down in RE. The first time that the flaming chalice was used as a symbol of our faith was in World War II in Europe, and the Unitarian Service Committee was trying to do all sorts of good things to help refugees be safer and help them out as they were trying to find a safer place to live. And what they would do is they would paint the symbol of the flaming chalice. You can see that. They would paint the symbol of the flaming chalice with a circle around it. And that symbol told refugees that the people in that building or the people in that car were safe people to go to, and that building or that car would have food or blankets and a safe place to sleep, and that they were people who were going to help them be safe while they found a better place to live. Now, some of you may be wishing that you could light a chalice at home along with worship. Chalices, as you've seen around our church, come in all different shapes and sizes and materials. So we have ceramic chalices and metal chalices. We have small chalices, and I have this one. This is a crochet chalice that I got for my son when I was at the Loretta conference. And then there's, of course, this one, which is, some of you may remember last year, we talked about kintsugi and healing by fixing broken things using gold to make it even more beautiful and to remind us of our mistakes. So this is that kintsugi chalice kintsugi style chalice that I made last year, or that I fixed last year. So you can see all the different kinds of chalices. So if you have a chalice like that at home, that would be a great way for you to stay connected to worship, stay connected to our spirituality and our faith, and remind us all that we're in this together. Now, some of you might be saying, but I don't have a chalice at home, in which case you might actually, and just not realize it. So I looked around my house really quickly and I was able to find a few things that were not designed to be flaming chalices, but nevertheless still look enough like a chalice that if you pop a candle in, it will still look enough like a flaming chalice that you can be part of things. So this is one thing that I found. It's just a little cup with a nice stem on it, and once you put a candle in, it looks an awful lot like a chalice, doesn't it? Um, this is a candle holder. It's designed to hold taper candles, so it doesn't really look like a chalice when you hold it like this, but if you flip it up the other way, you get a little bit of an idea of a chalice. So it looks similar to a chalice, maybe not quite, but it's similar enough to a chalice that it could help to feel part of our faith and feel connected while we're doing things in worship together. I also found this. This is also designed to be a candle holder, but for taper candles. So it wouldn't quite look like a chalice with a taper candle in it, but with a tea light resting in there, it looks an awful lot like a flaming chalice, doesn't it? Now, some of you following along at home might look around your house and be like, I still don't see anything. I don't have anything that looks like a chalice, or I kind of want to be more crafty with this and I want to be more creative and try something a little bit different. So if you really don't have anything that looks like a chalice and you don't want to be crafty, one thing that you could do is just get a cup and a bowl and you put it like that. Kind of looks like a chalice, especially once you put the flame inside. Or if you want to get crafty, or especially for those kids who are out there, if you want to try creating something that looks like a chalice, you can use all sorts of different materials to do that. You can use Play-Doh or Model Magic or clay or whatever you have around your house to kind of just shape something that looks like a chalice. You could make a 2D chalice out of paper. Just cut some paper to look like a chalice and create a flame out of orange or red or yellow or a combination of those that you can put on and off as we're lighting and extinguishing our chalice each week. You could also create a Lego chalice. This is a Lego chalice that my older son made for me today. So, and he put this little piece in that's the flame. So you can take the flame and light the chalice. And then when it's time to extinguish the chalice, you just take the flame off. You can also make a chalice out of recyclables. I was looking around my house looking for some recyclables that I could use to make a chalice, and I found a toilet paper tube and an applesauce cup. And you put them together, and that looks like a chalice, doesn't it? So now that I've shared with you some different ways that you might be able to find or create a chalice, I would like to challenge you to do just that over the next week. So before next Sunday's worship, try to find a chalice in your house. Find something that looks like a chalice when you use your imagination, or turn it a different way. Or create a brand new chalice that looks however you want it to look. And I can't wait to see what you come up with and to see all those chalices during our worship next Sunday.
And now let us take a deep breath together. We've reached the point in our service that we set aside every week some time for centering ourselves so that each of us can get in touch once again with our inner selves, our highest aspirations, our own sense of the divine. First, we share a centering song with one another. It's a UU favorite. It's a video with lyrics I will share with you in a minute. And then after that, we'll sit in silence together for 2 minutes. And then the silence ends with our usual chime. Then we share with one another our candles of joy and sorrows. And then I will wrap it up with a shared prayer time together. So now as we move into the time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to take your hands away from your keyboard, place them on your lap or wherever feels comfortable, and settle into your seat. Take a nice deep breath and let us sing together our centering song.
breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
This is the time in our service each week when we share with one another the personal milestones of our lives, our joys and our sorrows. By sharing our sorrows, the burden is lifted. We carry them together. By sharing our joys, we are knit together as a community. I invite anyone now who would like to share with us a joy or a sorrow to type it into the chat box, and our worship associate today, Janice, will read them out, sharing just first names or first names and last initials. I'm going to stand up now and light the candles. Janice, are you ready?
I am ready.
Good.
Kathy says, please keep my friend Sandra in San Diego, who was diagnosed with aggressive uterine cancer this week. Lizzie says, please send prayers and thoughts to my brother, who is still recovering from stomach surgery in Pennsylvania and has not made as much progress as we hoped. From Cheryl, a joy from Anna. Anna, I get to play with my sister. From Adrian, pray for those who are struggling with anxiety during this time, specifically my friend Holly. From Liz, I light a candle for my mom and dad who are 88 and separated due to illness. Michelle says, a candle of joy for the first day of spring. Lindsay, that all our healthcare workers can get the necessary supplies to take care of patients safely. And we are excited to welcome a new member of our family, Evie, our new puppy. Mark says, for all healthcare workers on the front lines of this crisis. Paul and Michelle, a candle of sorrow and concern for the people of Italy. We have relatives and friends under quarantine. Dan says, Mary Beth's uncle just passed away from cancer, leaving a young daughter. Jeannie says, for my daughter Julia, who may lose her job as a nanny, waiting to hear from the family soon if she will continue. She may be moving back in with us. Beth says, I have a joy to share. My nephew Felix was born on Tuesday. James says, please send prayers and thoughts to all the medical and health workers who are about to get hit with a wave of work. Cheryl says, being able to go on walks as needed. Jane says, my father passed away on March 9th, so a candle of sorrow for him, but joy that my brother and mother and I could be there with him. Please keep my mother in your thoughts. She's having to face grief during a time of isolation and anxiety, and also organizing for a move. Vanessa says, a candle of concern and care for my parents who couldn't join us today due to technical difficulties. Liz says, please light a candle of compassion and hope for all the young adults whose life plans are upended including our young second cousin whose wedding is postponed, and our daughter Emma, who is in the air on her way home from Turkey. From MB, thinking of all those far away whom we can't be close to today. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. From Christine, candle of concern that I can work successfully from home starting tomorrow. It's new to me to even try this. From Laura, sorrow. My very good friend Danielle lost her brother at the young age of 54, leaving behind his wife and 3 kids. And from Mary, a joy. The quilters have learned how to make masks, from Mary D. And that's all I have right now.
Thank you so much, Janice. I grabbed an extra box of candles. So much is in our minds and hearts this morning. I light one more candle for all of those that are left unspoken, the joys and sorrows in our hearts this morning.
Reverend Suzanne, we have one more, a
Okay.
joy. My brother Paul in Minnesota had a mild case of COVID-19 and recovered. That's from Kathy.
That is a joy to share. Thank you, Kathy. Can you see all the lights burning? Thank you, everyone, for sharing your joys and sorrows with us this morning. I have a prayer to share with you. I offer the words of the Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Stevens. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. Maybe start with a breath in and out. These are strange times. There are so many things that feel unfamiliar. We are still figuring out how to protect ourselves and one another. We are still figuring out social distancing. We are still figuring out phone trees and virtual community. We are still figuring out how to weave a safety net secure enough so that no one slips through. Some of us may not know how to manage these strange new technologies. Some of us may not know where we can find toilet paper. Some of us may not know where our next meal or our rent is coming from. None of us know who will get sick or how sick we will get. None of us knows who we will lose. But we know the things that are important. We know how to manage our anxiety. We know that we are resilient as individuals and collectively. We know how to come back to our best selves again and again. We know how to breathe. We know how to be kind. We know how to be generous. We know that we can count on one another. We know that when all of us offer what feels right, what feels good, we always wind up with everything we need. We know that this pandemic won't last forever. We know that the world is a beautiful place and that we are meant to rejoice and be glad in it every day we are given. Above all, we know that we are held in a love whose tensile strength is limitless. It will stretch, it will give, and it will not let us go. May we trust in that love in these strange times and in all times. Amen.
This next piece of music is being called an offertory this morning. Usually when we were in our sanctuary together, we'd pass the plate at this time and we'd share money we collected with a chosen charity. During virtual worship, however, we ask that you wait until the end of the service and go to our website, as John showed you at the beginning, melroseuu.org, and use the donate button in the top right corner. Funds raised in online worship will be going to our minister's discretionary fund, which Reverend Suzanne administers in strict confidentiality and goes to help out community members in financial hardship. But for now, enjoy the music. First, we have our current president, Chuck, and his lovely family. Take it away, Chuck.
Good morning, everyone. Here is a traditional gospel song from the late 19th century called Keep Your Lamp Trimmed and Burning. I was inspired by a recording of this made by the great blind Willie Johnson in 1928. This song reminds me that life goes on through all kinds of struggles, and also about my own view that things are never as good as they seem, or as bad as they seem. The image of trimming a lamp, to me, suggests our flaming chalice, especially the one in church with the great big wick dipped into oil. I'm very happy to be joined this morning on the vocal parts of the church ladies by Julia and Jane.
Good morning.
Sister,
Don't get worried.
sister,
Don't get worried.
sister.
Don't get worried. For the work is almost done.
Keep it yours,
Lamp trimmed and burning.
keep it yours,
Trimmed and burning.
keep it your lamp.
Trimmed and burning. I see what the Lord has done.
Brother,
Don't get worried.
brother,
Don't get worried. Don't get worried. For the work is almost done.
heaven's journey,
It's almost over.
heaven's,
It's almost over.
heaven's.
It's almost over. See what the Lord has done.
Elders,
Don't get worried.
elders,
Don't get worried.
elders.
Don't get worried, for the work is almost done.
Keep it your lamp,
Trimmed and a burning,
keep it your,
trimmed and a burning,
keep it your lamp.
trimmed and a burning. See what the Lord has done.
Brother,
Don't get worried.
brother,
Don't get worried.
brother.
Don't get worried, for the work is almost done.
Thank you, Police. We've come to the part of our worship where we would usually have a reading or a sermon, but this week, since it's Music Sunday, we will continue to share folks from our congregation, reflecting on what music means to them and how it deepens their spiritual lives and gives them strength, especially in dark times. Continue with choir member Karen, who will tell us about how could anyone ever tell you. After Karen speaks, I will play this song for you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Great. Okay. Tara asked those members of choir if there's any song that moved them or that affected their life, and I realized that the song "How Could Anyone" touched me very deeply. So years back, I had not been attending church very often, and this was because my son Gabe began to unravel emotionally when he was in the 6th grade. That began a long and arduous journey of about 5 years when my family was dealing with one crisis after another. It was a pretty intense time. And during this time, as his mother, it's like my heart felt drawn to being home on Sunday mornings, just to be present. And even though as Gabe got older and he did not necessarily want me around, it was important to me to be home to make pancakes on Sunday morning or just to be there when he woke up. Finally, Gabe graduated high school, which was a feat in itself, and he decided to go to California to work on a farm growing marijuana. It was hard and for all of us, but he did leave, and I finally had my life back. So I decided to return to church, and I even joined the choir at that time, which was the first time for me. I hadn't sung with him since college. And one Sunday, not too long after I joined choir, the last hymn in the service was the song "How Could Anyone" by Libby Roderick. I had never heard this song before until that day. And as I listened to the tune and started really hearing the words, they began to resonate very deeply inside of me all of a sudden. I didn't know why. And as I sang, "How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful?" The image of Gabe's young, sweet face came to me, and all that we had been together, the pain, the fear, the confusion, the connection, and the love. And as I sang those words, I began to choke up. As the song continued, I could hear my fellow choir members singing in the congregation, and I kept trying to follow along. And then that final line came. "How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul." And that's when I just choked up and cried inside, because I saw the connection my son and I had in our souls. Every time we sing the song, I can never sing it without choking up, and it does not seem to get easier. The music and the power of this song affirms the power of music and what it has. It has the power to connect and heal me and others from the inside out. Thank you.
How could anyone ever tell
Next, Alistair shares a song that he loves called Green, Green Rocky Road.
Hey friends, hope you're hanging in there, making it through one day at a time. Hope you're with some people quarantined all up together. I've been spending more time doing music online than I've ever done before. This past week I've done a lot of shows for kids and some fundraising stuff for other musicians who are really in need right now, like a lot of people. And it's hard being apart, but at least this technology allows us to connect. So we're lucky to be living at a time where this exists. Tara asked me to do a song for church this Sunday, something meaningful, spiritual. I've thought about a lot of possibilities. I thought I'd do this song. This is a song that Dave Van Ronk kind of breathed new life into. It was a song that he found on an old record. My little bit of research into it, it was a song that kids used to sing down in the South, African American kind of circle game song. And Dave came up with this great arrangement, and it's just a calming song, so I thought I would do it. When I go to Baltimore, need no carpet on my floor. Come along and you follow me, we'll go down to Galilee. Singing green, green, rocky road, promenading green. Tell me who y'all love, who y'all love. See that crow up in the sky? She don't walk, no, she just flies. She don't walk, and she don't run, keeps on flapping to the sun. Singing green, green, rocky road, promenading green. Tell me who y'all love, who y'all love. Little Miss Jane running to the wall. Don't you stumble, don't you fall. Don't you sing and don't you shout when I say come running out. Well, green, green, rocky road, promenading green. Tell me who y'all love, who y'all love. Ooka-dooka, soda cracker, does your mama chew tobacco? If your mama chews tobacco, ooka-dooka, ooka-dooka, soda cracker. Well, green, green, rocky road, promenading green. Tell me who y'all love, who y'all love. When I go to Baltimore, need no carpet on my floor. Come along and you follow me, we'll go down to Galilee. One more. Well, green, green, rocky road, promenading green. Tell me who y'all love, who y'all love. Tell me, well, who y'all love, who y'all love. All right, guys, everybody stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll all see each other soon enough.
Thanks, Alistair. Next, Rebecca, a longtime member of our choir, will share about her favorite hymn, We'll Build a World.
Hi, everybody. You see me? There we go. Okay. So I feel a personal connection to this song really just because of one line in it, which is, where justice shall roll down like waters. I don't remember exactly why this came up, but I do remember exactly where we were. I was with my dad on a freeway in LA, he was driving me back to the LA airport after I had visited him, both of my parents in Southern California. And I should add that he was a liberal Democrat and a social justice advocate in a very conservative Orange County, California. So kind of going against the grain there. And again, I don't remember exactly why it came up, but we were just talking and I mentioned how much I love that line, where justice shall roll down like waters. And I attributed it to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he just said, no, that's from the Bible. And I had no idea. And we just continued to have a conversation, and it became clear to me that it meant a lot to him as a Methodist, as a Christian. So 20 years later, he left us 20 years ago, but every time we sing that song in church, when we get to that line, I get choked up thinking about my dad and his passion for social justice and his devotion to his Christian faith. That's it.
We'll build a world where we might all feel broken. We'll build a world where the captive go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promise world that can be. We'll build a world where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like water, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come, build a world where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like water, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
And to round things out, Jenny would like to share her rendition of a favorite hymn. How can I keep from singing? Jenny, do you want to reflect on this first to tell us why this hymn moves you so?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Can you see me? Not yet. That's okay. Oh, hi. So I have known this song since I was little, but it wasn't through church. It was from Enya. And this song first touched me when my father, who adores this song, told me that he wanted this song at his funeral. And at first I was like, okay. I thought it was a bit morbid, but then I realized that the reason he wanted this song was because it is a song about tapping into the divine through any hardships and continuing to exist in that spiritual space. So for him as a Christian, he believes that no matter what, in the end, he will keep singing. So for me, I believe that God is within us. That's my personal belief. So this song is about always striving to live in communion with the deep, calm, universal part of ourselves that never dies and unites all of us together. And it's about moving through any hardships that we face. So this song is a song of hope and a call to tap into the universal divine within us all. Just a quick note, the final verse of the version that I am singing was actually written by Pete Seeger. It's very applicable to our modern times, and he lovingly put it in the public domain. Thank you, Pete Seeger. But the original final verse from the poem that this song is based on was written by a woman named Pauline in 1868. It was not written by Robert Wadsworth Lowry, and it's very beautiful. I want to read it to you. It does use the word Christ. So for those of us that are not Christian or do not, subscribe to that, please substitute the word Christ with whatever word you use for the universal or for your beliefs. But the final verse, as she wrote it, says, "I lift my eyes, the cloud grows thin, I see the blue above it, and day by day this pathway smooths, since first I learned to love it. The peace of Christ makes fresh my heart, a fountain ever springing. All things are mine since I am his. How can I keep from singing?" So, yeah, thank you.
My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation through all the tumult and the strife. I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? But though the tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth, it liveth. And though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble in their fear and hear their death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? In prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
Jenny. In talking about our favorite hymns and songs we sing in church with choir members, I Choose Love comes up often, and it's one of my favorites too. I've been told it's very sad, but for whatever reason, it has never hit me that way. I love that this song tells us that in hard times we have choices. That's great news. Sometimes I forget. I have choices. But this song helps me remember. I can choose to love. I can choose to be peaceful. I can choose to put one foot in front of the other. And I can choose to look forward with faith to the next moment my soul will rise, even in the midst of all my troubles and the troubles of the world. Our final hymn together, please sing on mute with me. I Choose Love by Mark Miller and Lindy Thompson.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Like last Sunday, In a minute, after our benediction, we'll be dividing the participants into smaller groups called breakout rooms so we can catch up with one another and reflect on the service together and about the role of music in our lives. Feel free to stay for that. If you've got something else pressing, feel free to come and go as you like. But if you would like to share in a moment of connection with people in this church, please, everyone is welcome. Newcomers, old timers, everyone, stick around and stay. So. All you have to do is stay here if you'd like to be in a breakout room, in a conversation with a smaller group. Now I will extinguish our historic chalice. And you might also choose to extinguish your chalice at home or your candle. And as we do this, let us be comforted by the knowledge that nothing can extinguish the music in our hearts or the deep connections between us. And now Tara has some closing words, our benediction.
As we close this year's Music Sunday, I want to just say a huge thank you to everyone who worked this week to make this reimagining of our service work. Thank you also, of course, to all our musicians for helping us change gears to online worship. I want to close our worship as we opened it with words from James Weldon Johnson. He writes, "I brood not over the broken past, nor dread whatever time may bring. No nights are dark, no days are long, while in my heart there swells a song, and I can sing." May we leave this space choosing the gift of music, choosing to sing our life's song, and choosing to be together no matter what. Many blessings on all of you this morning.